Yo, real quick, what if I told you that the one thing she secretly craves is the one thing you're too afraid to do? Every man thinks he knows what turns a woman on, until he learns about her dark fantasies, the ones tied to primal instincts, power shifts, and her deepest unspoken truth. This isn't about flowers or sweet talk, it's about bold masculinity, dominant energy, and mastering the psychological triggers that make her melt without a single word. Once you understand her subconscious desire, everything changes. But most men never get there, because society trained you to play nice, not to lead. So today, I'm going to break down exactly what she secretly wants, but will never say out loud. And here's the catch. If you miss even one piece of this, you'll keep wondering why the nice guy always finishes last. Let's pull back the curtain. What you're about to hear might feel uncomfortable, but that's where your power begins. What she secretly craves, but never tells you. Let's get something out of the way. Most men are completely blind to what truly turns a woman on. They've been fed surface-level garbage, chivalry, politeness, playing it safe. But here's the unspoken truth. The deeper parts of a woman's desire have nothing to do with what she says out loud. It's in the silent glances, the subconscious shivers, the way her breath changes when a man walks in with bold masculinity. You can't Google this. And most guys never figure it out, because they're asking the wrong questions. There's something she's fantasizing about, something you probably wouldn't believe unless you've seen it in her eyes when she thinks you're not looking. It's not dirty in the vulgar sense, it's primal. It's rooted in her biology, in her primal instincts, and in something far older than modern dating advice. She won't confess it. She might not even know how to. But that doesn't mean it isn't burning underneath. Her subconscious desire doesn't follow logic. It responds to energy, to presence, to how deeply you know how to lead. Here's the kicker. The more you try to be good, the more invisible you become. That's a hard pill to swallow, I know. But women aren't wired to crave comfort. They're wired to be drawn to dominant energy, the kind that disrupts their nervous system in the best way possible. That doesn't mean being aggressive. It means embodying emotional control while radiating power. She wants to feel you before you touch her. That's what triggers her biological attraction. Not words, not gifts, presence, tension, command. A guy named Liam found this out the hard way. 34 years old, successful on paper, polite to a fault. But every relationship he had ended with the same line. You're a great guy, but something's missing. One day, after another painful breakup, he stumbled across a video that talked about female desire and the nature of psychological triggers. It hit him like a truck. For the first time, he realized he'd been playing the nice guy script his whole life, and it was killing his magnetism. Liam started studying not what women say, but what they respond to. That's where things started to shift. He noticed that when he took charge of the small things, where they sat, how he touched her lower back, when he ended the conversation, something changed in their eyes. Their pupils dilated, their breathing deepened, the air got heavier. He was stepping into male confidence and assertive presence, and without even realizing it, he was unlocking their forbidden cravings. He wasn't acting, he was becoming. Here's the twist. Women don't want you to ask for permission. They want to feel your masculine edge without you having to explain it. They want you to take control of the moment, not with words, but with certainty. And when a man understands attraction dynamics, he realizes that it's not about doing more, it's about being more. The moment you feel like the man, she reacts as if you are. That's raw seduction in its purest form, not manipulation, embodiment. Most women will never verbalize this need. Why would they? Society shames them for wanting to surrender, for craving a man who makes them feel powerless in a safe, erotic way. But their bodies tell the truth. Their signals are always there. Silent signals, little clues, hidden in how they test you, tease you, resist you. And if you're not tuned into the erotic psychology behind their behavior, you'll miss the doorway every single time. You'll keep wondering why they lose interest after you treat them right. There's a fine line between what she says she wants and what actually ignites her. And here's the trap. Most men believe her words. They hear, "I want someone kind and gentle," and take it literally. But behavioral truths don't live in what's spoken, they live in what's felt. The man who knows this doesn't chase approval. He studies her reactions, not her statements. And that's when he starts seeing the power shifts, when she leans in closer, touches her neck, or laughs just a little too hard. You ever wonder why she keeps going back to the guy who's unpredictable, the one who challenges her, even frustrates her, but she can't stay away? It's not toxic, it's hypergamy. She's wired to be drawn toward the man who has options, who doesn't need her validation, who walks through life with bold masculinity. That's what her biology recognizes as safe and strong. The man who owns himself becomes the man she wants to follow. No explanation needed. His energy does the talking. Let's go deeper. The dirtiest fantasy isn't about dominance in a vulgar sense. It's about being overwhelmed in the best way. It's the tension of being taken, of losing control to a man who never loses his. That's the paradox of sexual power. It's not force, it's focus. The man who walks into a room and slows everything down with his presence, he's the one who gets inside her mind. She doesn't just want his touch, she wants to surrender to the feeling of being claimed. That fantasy lives in her daydreams. And the wild part? She might not even admit it to herself, because it clashes with what she's been told to want. But deep down, there's a craving to experience the freedom that only comes when she feels safe enough to let go. And the key to unlocking that? Your ability to hold emotional control while radiating certainty. That's when subconscious desire wakes up. That's when the walls start melting. And that's when she starts leaning in harder. Every time she tests you, pulls back, throws shade, challenges your opinion, it's not a rejection, it's a measure. She's looking to feel your frame. Do you break? Do you apologize too quickly? Or do you hold steady? That's male frame in action. It's not about being cold, it's about being centered. The more rooted you are in yourself, the more she relaxes into her feminine. And that's where the real magic happens. That's when her undeniable pull starts doing all the work. Picture this. You're on a date. She playfully insults your shirt. Most guys would laugh nervously, deflect, or try to impress her back. But you lean back, smirk, and say, "You're cute when you try too hard." Silence, blush, tension. That's how dominant energy feels in the moment. Not loud, not aggressive, just unshakable. When you stop reacting and start observing, you take control of the emotional frame. And that's when she starts revealing her dark fantasies, without even realizing it. The moment you understand that desire lives in the unspoken, you stop looking for verbal confirmation. You watch how she walks. How she inhales when you touch her wrist. How her voice drops a half tone when she's nervous. These are your psychological triggers, raw, unfiltered clues into her state. Most men miss them because they're too busy overthinking. But the man who learns to read silent signals, he becomes unforgettable. He gets access to a part of her no one else even notices. She won't say it. She might never say it. But she shows it through body language, micro-reactions, tension. Her deepest longing isn't for perfection. It's for a man who can handle her. Not in the polite, let me carry your bag way, but in the grounded, masculine edge kind of way. The one that whispers, you're safe to fall apart here. That's the fantasy. That's what gets stored in her body. And the truth? She doesn't even want to control it. She wants to feel it take over. And this isn't about tricks or tactics. This is about knowing who you are. Really knowing. Because a woman can smell insecurity the way a wolf smells fear. You can't fake high-value male energy. You embody it. Through stillness, through choices, through how you handle conflict without losing your temper. When you become that man, her entire nervous system responds. It's instinct. It's ancient. That's the source of her attraction dynamics. And that's how you get her chasing you, even when she doesn't fully understand why. And here's where I want you to pause. Seriously, breathe for a second. Ask yourself, how many times have you misread her signals? How many times did you play it safe, only to feel her pulling away? That's not coincidence. That's misalignment. And if this is hitting you like a ton of bricks right now, good. That means you're waking up. That means you're finally starting to see the unspoken truth behind all those confusing behaviors. So here's what you need to do. If this content is flipping switches in your head and exposing things you never saw before, smash that like button right now. Don't wait. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because this isn't a one-time insight. It's the start of a whole new lens on women, desire, and how bold masculinity changes the game. Stay with me. We're just getting warmed up. There's a moment when a woman feels something she can't explain. It hits her like static in the air, a shift. That moment usually comes when she's around a man who doesn't try to impress, doesn't chase, doesn't flinch. His calm creates chaos in her. That's the paradox of sexual power. It doesn't need noise. It's subtle, felt, alive. When your presence alone creates tension, she starts wondering who you are beneath the surface. That curiosity, that's the beginning of her forbidden cravings waking up. You might think she wants words, but she wants weight. Weight in your voice, weight in your decisions, weight in your eyes when you look at her without breaking contact. That's the real signal of male confidence. Not arrogance, not showing off, just knowing. Knowing your worth, knowing her games, knowing the rules you refuse to follow. That steadiness, it shakes something loose in her. It activates the part of her she hides behind layers of modern empowerment, and it's that part that desires to surrender. Modern dating tells you to be neutral, to be agreeable. But what if I told you that neutrality is the most invisible place you can live as a man? It drains your polarity. It kills the erotic charge. Women don't crave balance. They crave contrast. That's where power shifts happen. When you stop trying to meet her halfway and instead bring your full, unapologetic masculine presence into the moment, things ignite. Because in truth, her deepest desires live on the edges, never in the middle. When you approach her with hesitation, she feels it in her gut. She might not label it, but it registers as weakness. Not because you're soft, but because you're unsure. And uncertainty is the one thing she can't fully surrender into. A man grounded in bold masculinity never asks for permission to be himself. He leads. He commands respect with stillness, not volume. And that's what unlocks her subconscious desire, because for the first time, she doesn't have to think. She just reacts, instinctively. Let me make this real. You're on a couch. She's close, but distracted. You don't chase her attention. You lean back, put your arm around the backrest, not her shoulders. You say nothing. Just breathe. Slowly, she'll lean in eventually. Why? Because your stillness carries more gravity than words ever could. That's the art of assertive presence. You don't move her. You let her move toward you. That shift is powerful. And in that silence, she feels the electricity of raw seduction humming beneath the surface. It's wild how few men ever tap into this. They stay stuck in logic, asking, what do I say? Instead of asking, who do I need to become? Becoming the man she craves starts long before she enters the room. It's in how you walk, how you sit with your back straight, how you answer your phone. Everything you do, your rituals, your habits, your boundaries, broadcasts something. When they align with strength and stability, you radiate dominant energy without needing to force it. And she feels it. You might be wondering, how do I practice this without becoming fake? Simple. You don't perform it, you build it daily. That means lifting weights, not just to look good, but to feel your body grounded. It means meditating to stop chasing thoughts and women. It means reading real material on erotic psychology and attraction dynamics, not recycled pickup lines. You evolve into it, one rep, one breath, one choice at a time. And the deeper you go into yourself, the deeper her desire follows. One of the biggest mistakes men make is trying to prove they're enough. But in doing that, you already lost the frame. Male frame isn't something you declare. It's something you live. It's in how you don't over-explain, how you let her talk, but you don't try to fix everything, how you can sit in silence and feel completely unfazed. That calm creates tension. That tension is what activates her biological attraction. She starts chasing something she can't quite name, but deeply wants to experience again. Every time you pass a test, big or small, you gain access, not just to her body, but to the deeper layers of her mind. That's when she starts opening up, not because you asked her to, but because she can't help it. And it's in that space where her dark fantasies start bubbling up. Her thoughts get bolder. Her gaze lingers longer. Her sarcasm fades into softness. That's what happens when she feels emotionally disarmed. And you? You just held the space without flinching, without bragging. She wants to feel led, but only by someone who doesn't need to lead her. See the difference? That's the energy of a high-value male. He doesn't lead to prove he's in control. He leads because control is a natural extension of how he moves through the world. Whether he's ordering food or setting boundaries, his decisions are felt. That quiet certainty, that's the undeniable pull she tries to resist, but rarely can. It's not hypnotic. It's primal. It bypasses logic and sinks deep. Let's talk about polarity. Feminine energy expands. It flows. It seeks to be contained, not crushed, but held. Masculine energy, when strong, becomes the container. It's the structure she melts into. And when that structure is built with emotional control and bold masculinity, her walls start dropping. Her voice softens. Her chaos turns into playfulness. And that's not a reaction to your looks. It's a response to your essence. She feels safe, not because you promise safety, but because your presence is so solid she doesn't have to ask. You don't need to do more to unlock this in her. In fact, doing too much is often the very thing that kills attraction. When you flood her with attention, approval, validation, you remove the mystery, you kill the tension, you become predictable. But when you learn the power of strategic distance, of holding your energy until the right moment, she starts imagining, craving, creating stories about you in her head. That's where erotic psychology really lives, in the spaces between what you give and what you hold back. So, what does all this look like in the real world? It's the man who doesn't text back immediately, not to play games, but because he's focused. It's the man who cancels a date to stick to his gym schedule, because his commitments matter. It's the man who looks her dead in the eye and says, "I don't tolerate drama," then actually walks away when tested. Those actions are worth more than 1,000 lines of flattery. They communicate behavioral truths, and they change everything. Once you understand how powerful your energy is, you become more selective. You stop chasing women who can't feel you. You stop bending to approval. You stop diluting your essence just to keep her comfortable. And, ironically, that's when the real attraction starts. Because when a woman feels that you're not trying to earn her, But instead, standing fully in your masculine edge, she can finally drop the mask. She can finally admit, if only to herself, that you're the man her body was waiting for. She doesn't just want to be touched, she wants to be felt, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. And that starts before you ever lay a finger on her. It's in how you look at her, in how you pause before speaking, in how you respond without reacting. When you embody psychological triggers through presence, she stops performing. She starts melting. Because it's not about what you're saying, it's about what she's experiencing inside herself. That's the secret of real seduction. It begins with who you are when no one's watching. Forget tactics, forget tips and tricks. Real masculine power doesn't live in scripts. It lives in the moments you choose to hold your ground when everything tempts you to fold. That's where your power shifts occur. That's when she watches you, not with her eyes, but with her instincts. And when those instincts say, "This man can handle me," everything changes. Her walls drop. Her sarcasm disappears, and the fantasy, the one she's never said out loud, starts playing out without a word. You didn't force it. You allowed it. So stop asking what turns her on. Start becoming the man who makes her body answer the question for you. This isn't about volume, it's about vibration. The vibration of a man who's done the work, who owns his space, and who understands that female desire is an invitation, not a guarantee. Every time you show up rooted, clean, and unshakably certain, she feels it in her chest, in her spine, in her skin. That's raw seduction. Not because you're chasing, but because you're chosen. She'll never say it. But her fantasy isn't about role play, it's about energy. The energy of a man who doesn't just understand women, but understands himself. A man who doesn't collapse under pressure, who doesn't need to be told what to do. He already knows. He listens without apologizing. He touches without hesitation. He leads without fear. And in that presence, she finds her freedom. And the truth? That's what she's really craving. She's not waiting for the words. She's waiting for the feeling, the one she can't deny. So now the question is, are you ready to stop guessing what she wants and become the man who makes her feel what she's been silently craving all along? Because here's the truth. She'll never say it out loud, but she'll show it to the one who gets it. The one who radiates bold masculinity without needing to prove anything. The man who doesn't wait for permission, he just leads. What part of this hit you the hardest? Was it the idea of silent signals? The need for dominant energy? Or realizing how much of this you've ignored? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. I'm done being ignored. I'm stepping into my power. Write that. Own that. And hey, if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you. Really. Thank you for being open, for seeking truth, and for choosing to grow. Now do this. Smash that like button. Share this with one guy who needs to hear it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, because the next video might just change how you see everything. See you in the next one, brother.